Hello. Did you have a good day today? How's the weather? Wherever you are. It was nice and sunny today where I am. I still had to wear a coat, but I think it could have been a lot worse, you know? Take the small victories as they come. Have you been busy? Hopefully not too busy to take a break. Or maybe have a snack. I'm sure you can tell I look pretty tired. It's finals week and I have been tirelessly working on my essays with a few breaks in between with Inzoe coming out. It's a pretty interesting game. It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be, but I don't think that that's a bad thing. Let's see. I've been thinking a lot about what's going to happen in this next year for school. I've been feeling anxious and excited, but worried, you know. I really don't want to let myself down or the people that I love. You know, the usual anxieties that come from, you know, fear of failure. But I feel really lucky to have the support system that I have. And I hope that you have people like that in your life too, that you can lean on. And believe me, you know, they make life good. They make it very good. Well, what did you have for breakfast today? And don't tell me you had nothing. I hope it was good. I hope it was tasty. Today I splurged and bought myself a ham croissant from Starbucks. It's way too expensive. Very tasty. So tasty, but way too expensive. But it was a nice little treat. I don't know if you go to Starbucks at all or often or once in a while. I love their matcha frappuccinos. I know a lot of my friends probably assume it's because I love Japan and they would call me a weeb. More than likely. But the real reason that I love matcha fraps is because of my cousin. She was the stage manager for a company that I did the audio for a few of their shows. And in the interest of, you know, not doxing her or myself, I won't be specific, but we had a lot of late nights of rehearsals and, you know, going through stage direction and having to set up the EQ for the room almost every time we did a show at this specific theater. shorts are really cool to mess with, so I didn't mind, you know. Sorry, I'm getting a little lost in the details, but I was in high school and, you know, I didn't have a lot of money. This sounds like this story's going somewhere dark. It's not. But I had a part-time job and I was just saving for college, but whenever I did shows for this theater company, they were, I mean, they didn't pay a lot, admittedly, but I would get just a little check, and I'd feel so proud because it had my full name on it, and my name was spelled right, which never happens. But I remember one show, my cousin had asked me if I wanted anything from Starbucks, and I had never had Starbucks before. And originally I said no because I had a real problem with accepting, you know, like kindness or gifts from people, and felt that I had to return that kindness immediately, and if I couldn't afford to, then it was too scary to accept. But I remember she came back and she had a matcha frappuccino, and she asked me, hey, do you want to try it? I think you'd really like it, it's really good. And I was like, oh sure, yeah. But oh my god, it was so tasty. And I remember the initial bite, the little bite of bitterness from the matcha. You know, it took me aback. I was taken aback. And then the creaminess from the dairy and the whipped cream. And because the matcha's sweetened, it's not typical, pure ceremonial grade. It's sweetened. I remember I had never tasted anything like it before. And I was trying really hard to keep my cool because my cousin, she's a bit older than me, and she was always really mature and so cool and just had her life together. And I remember just being like, play it cool. I want her to think I'm cool. And initially I was like, oh yeah, it's pretty good, you know. And she was like, yeah, right, it's so good. And then at some point, near the end of the night, I remember walking by her desk backstage and seeing the frap sitting on it, and I looked around and went, oh yeah, and I took another sip without her being around. I know it's probably a really silly story. It kind of is. It's not even a life-changing event, but it's a really nice memory to look back on. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear some kind of crackling. I was scratching my finger and I knocked it against the microphone. It's a really nice memory to think back on. I really liked working with her. You could tell that she really cared about, everything going right, which is a good quality to have in a stage manager. But, yeah. There are times when I miss working in theater, but in all honesty, I was so tired all the time, and I don't know. reminiscing a lot. I'm sorry. I'm just really happy that you're here spending time with me. And I like reminiscing on nice things, you know. Also, I'm sorry if my voice switches from whispering to like a soft, spoken, half whisper, you know what I mean? I'm not used to whispering for long periods of time. I've been talking a lot about myself, though. Well, I haven't forgotten. And you're not off the hook. I really hope that you had the chance to eat breakfast today. And to drink plenty of water. You know who you are. Drink your water. I'm just thinking about Japan. It comes to mind often. I'm sure you understand why. With it being my life goal and all that. But I'd like to take a moment to check in with you though. How are you feeling? I really hope that you're enjoying this as much as I am. Because I'm having a nice time. I know it might look like I'm falling asleep. I'm sorry, my eyes are so watery. But I'm so tired. But, you know, I just want to be honest with you. Check in with your body though. Make sure that you're listening to its needs. Your body knows what it needs. It will tell you. It will find a way to tell you. I promise. I may not be an authority on the subject, especially as someone who notoriously doesn't listen to her body and go to sleep when she should. But neither here nor there. Thank you for coming back. I hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing right now, I hope by being here with me, it means that you've come to relax and take your mind off of things. I'm not sure what you do when you're having trouble focusing or getting yourself motivated or, you know, getting yourself upright. I know for some people there's an inherent sense of duty that it's not even a question. This is just something I do. I get up in the morning because I go to work. That's the only reason. Or I go to school. And I have a lot of respect for people who just have that inherent sense of duty. I feel like I had it once, but brain stuff, you know. I think that may have sounded a little sad and maybe even a little revealing, but I promise you, whether you're a person who is motivated purely by a sense of duty or has to coach themselves into getting up, you should still be equally as proud of yourself. And just be glad that you're tired some days, that's okay. Sometimes you do need to sleep in. Sometimes you need to take care. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not trying to sound sad. I feel like maybe it's difficult to tell by my tone. And it obviously doesn't help that I'm fading. But I just felt compelled to do this again. I'd really like to do it more. And, I'd love to hear your thoughts. A few people commented. I really appreciated that. It was very nice. And don't be afraid to give me feedback. I appreciate the honesty. But you should probably get going. And I should probably get going to bed. And perhaps you do. Or maybe you have something else you have to get back to. For you or for someone else. And that's okay. I hope you have whatever time it is, I hope it's a good time. I'm so sorry I just burped. That's awful. I'm so sorry. Thank you for coming. Seriously though, wherever you're going, whatever it is, it's gonna be good. Be safe.